So, I want to talk more about, I don't know, I just want to talk. I guess I should start with the fact that I'm very thankful. Thankful to be alive for another beautiful day. But more importantly, I guess I wanted to talk about, I don't know, usually I have these very wonderful prophetic speeches when I'm, I don't know, by myself. But I guess when I know I'm speaking to an audience, it feels kind of weird. But I'll do my best. Um, For starters, I guess I want to just say that it's always important to be authentic to yourself. I feel like there are a lot of things that I've been through, especially recently, that have pushed me into not necessarily caring so much about how people perceive me. Mainly because, like, I feel like for a long time in my life, I always felt like I needed to explain myself to people, or had the tendency to people please a little bit. But thank God that I grew out of that, and I'm leaning so much more into kind of like being more unapologetic when it comes to, just what I want to do, and not giving a flying fuck about what anybody thinks about it. Because at the end of the day, it's my life, not theirs. And at the end of the day, if all I'm doing is walking away, especially if it was a situation where I was betrayed, and it's like, what's so crazy? What's really crazy is you walking away from a situation where you were betrayed by someone, but because they didn't necessarily vocalize it or didn't make it obvious to you that they betrayed you, they treat you like you did something wrong, but you know why you walked away from that relationship. You know why you walked away from that job. You know that them motherfuckers was shady as shit. You know that that best friend wasn't really your best friend. You just know. But they still, because they haven't said anything to you or confirmed that that's what they were doing, even though you have all the confirmation you need, they still want to make it seem like you're the bad guy. So little shit like that I went through, which honestly, it wasn't really the only reason why I wanted to go in a different direction, or not say different direction, in a more calmer direction, because I already wanted to like change environments and change scenery anyway. But that was just like a little icing on the cake as far as another reason why it was good for me to walk away from certain shit. So, given that I've come into that knowledge, like that enhanced knowledge of like, okay, well, shouldn't be dealing with shit like that no more. Leave that alone. I'm just more in the energy now of like, yes, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm a sweetheart, but I love the boundaries that I have because they're rooted in protecting my authentic self, and in a sense of like not letting other people who feel uncomfortable around my space to affect me personally. Like, just because I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine. If you don't like me, that's fine. But when you try to take action on it in order to get a reaction from me, that's like, that's something that I just look at as like too childish in my opinion. I'm like, no. So I'm not feeding into that. But if you don't like someone, it's okay. You're well within your rights to not like somebody. But to act on it, you, without a valid reason and without any kind of explanation, is kind of, is sus. It's very sus. It just makes, look at shit like, oh, it was shady all along. Because if you had a real concrete reason for why you treated me a certain way, you would have said it by now, instead of talking to everybody but me. You know. So when you see little things like that, you just have to be happy. I know that's not exactly what people expect to hear, but you gotta be happy, because it's better that it gets exposed to you than for you to just not know and then just be sitting around looking stupid, having somebody play in your face that don't really like you like that. It's better that you see it for what it is and move the fuck on from it than to play around in that energy any longer. Excuse me. Than to play around in that energy any longer, because you know it's there to sabotage you now. So why would you stay stuck in it? Um, what else did I want to say? I mean, yeah, I want to say I'm thankful for a lot, man. I'm thankful that I'm still alive. I'm thankful that I can find happiness in the little things. I don't, I'm not who I used to be. When I was younger, I used to be. I won't say I was always a good person, in my opinion. I was always a good person. Now, did I make mistakes in life? Of course. Am I perfect? No. But I feel like moralistically, and as far as like how I've led my life, majority of my life, especially intentionally, I'm a pretty good person. I don't care how other people want to perceive that. They're not me. They don't walk in my shoes every day. But, so I just have to be thankful for the little things. Like, even when I feel like I'm going without, I'm still have everything that I need, which, makes me even more happy that I can find happiness in things that I didn't realize that the things that I found happiness in, or I'm able to find happiness in, I didn't realize was uncommon to a lot of people. Like, there are really a lot of people that can't find happiness in having only $5 in your pocket and not knowing how to stretch it, or like, I don't know, there's like things that I felt like I had to teach myself to find happiness in order to keep moving on with my life. I didn't know it was really hard to do until I actually started like seeing how other people reacted to it throughout the course of my life, which kind of made me feel like I didn't want to share a lot about like things that I enjoy personally, or things that I like to do with my personal time, because I felt like at some point I felt like I was around people who, I don't know, it was like maybe I was too different for them, or maybe they just didn't like me because I was thinking about shit that they never thought about, or never even wanted to try or something. And some people find that cool. I have met people who are like, "Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, that's dope." And then there are people that I've met where it's like you do something different around them, or you show them that you're like, I guess, more awesome than you seem at first glance. They like look at you. I have something in my teeth. I don't really care because I had some noodles earlier, but some black bean noodles. It was worth it. But they'll look at you like you grew three heads, and then they'll look at you like they don't like you just because you did some shit they didn't do, or I don't know. Some people are weird, but I like to keep to myself for the most part. I still like to socialize, but I keep it to a bare minimum now. I don't really like to be up in people's face like that anymore. Like I used to, not really like in that extent. How do I best describe it? I guess you could say I used to put a lot of my loving energy into a lot of people, and I realized I was spreading myself thin. And so I realized in order for me to lead a healthier lifestyle, I had to reserve myself and be more discerning with who I share my loving, healing energy with, because not everybody you share your loving, healing energy with are people that deserve it. Sometimes you get put in people. Sometimes people get put in your life to test you, and sometimes you are the test to other people. Just leave that where it is. Sometimes you are the test to some people, and not everybody passed that test. Okay? Don't be afraid to test people out here. Not everybody's who they want to appear to be. Um, yeah. I guess I'll stop here. I don't really like to force these type of video things because I'm not used to it. And one, I don't really like to. I'm not somebody that likes to come on social media and be like, "Oh, I want to post a video today." Like, I post when I feel like posting. I post because I want to enjoy posting. Even now, this video, it didn't feel forced. It just kind of felt like I had to kind of low key. I low key kind of made myself do it because I'm trying to break out of my shell a little bit more and not be so reserved when it comes to like sharing my thoughts and opinions. And I feel like there are some things that I don't know that I guess know, and some things that I feel like you know would be helpful to share with others. Now, I don't mind sharing with others, helpful information, helpful things, you know what I'm saying? Because it's each one teach one. So so I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm gonna be on next week and you'll see me. You might not see me till next month. But I did want to, share a little bit, and hopefully, they get more comfortable with this whole social media thing or whatever. I'll pop back up more often, perhaps share a little more wisdom, a little more love. Um, because I really want to strive to, you know, be a part of helping people help themselves. And I am also someone who's learning to do more of that myself. Like, there are people that I look up to, that I talk to, that I, you know, follow on social media, that I learn things from. So, as long as it's genuine, I don't mind being a part of that. So, yeah. And being a little silly on top of that. I don't know. The next video might be totally random. I might just start singing and shit. I don't know. But I'll stop here.